Hey guys, the Chief Ash here today to try with you my new segment I recently made up. We're calling it Asches-To-Ashes, and that's when I watch for some reason I watch a terrible movie and I'm just gonna freaking go off on it for a few minutes. So let's get started on that. So for some reason I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna watch a bad fucking movie and I'm gonna start this thing and everyone's gonna be whatever. And I went home and I was gonna watch The Cobbler and I started going through Netflix and I had already seen The Cobbler and The Cobbler's terrible and it was definitely worth being on this show, but it was like, whatever, fuck it. I didn't want to put myself through that pain again, right? So let's go through Netflix and I was like, oh look, The Ridiculous Six. Like, that's brand new and everyone's been hating on it. I better watch it. Okay, so right off the bat, like just looking at it, not even fucking reading into it or anything, it's a rip-off of a couple different movies that are coming out, around now. Like, first impression, I thought it was a rip-off of The Hateful Eight because it came out almost the exact same time. And apparently it's mainly a rip-off of Magnificent Seven, but it's like, I don't know. But it's 2 hours, right? It's 2 hours, right? It's 2 hours, and I was taking notes right at the beginning, and 15 minutes into it, I stopped taking notes, and then I was like, I better stop watching this movie for the sake of my sanity, and then I just didn't fucking stop watching. I just watched the whole goddamn thing, so it's whatever. But yeah, so Ridiculous Six, right at the beginning you see, it's a Happy Madison production, which that tells you right there that we fucked up. Like, you probably shouldn't watch this movie, right? Oh, did I mention this is a Netflix fucking original? Like, so Netflix has finally fucked up really bad, right? Like they've got their shows, there's like Daredevil and Jessica Jones and Hemlock Grove, which is supposed to be alright, Orange is the New Black, all Netflix originals are known for being freaking awesome, right? Not this fucking movie is Netflix like flipping, like giving you the big old middle finger, but like tying a scalpel to the end of that middle finger and shoving that motherfucker right up your goddamn nose until your fucking brain starts to ooze out of your nose. This movie is terrible. So, back to what I said. At the very beginning, you get Happy Madison. Since the 90s ended, if you got a Happy Madison film, you pretty much got a big old fucking pile of shit. And that's kind of what you get with this movie, for sure. But as soon as I saw Happy Madison, I was like, great. So not only is Adam Sandler in this movie, and he's obviously beyond his peak. That guy's just done. But not only is he in this movie, but it's Happy Madison. So, because Adam Sandler supposedly had this movie recently, Reign Over Me, and supposedly it's pretty good. I haven't seen it, so I can't shit on it. But everything else of his around there, for some reason I've seen it, but that one, and that's supposed to be the good one. But whatever. I haven't seen it. Supposedly it's pretty good, but what I'm getting at is Happy Madison. Fuck that shit. So I saw Pixels and all that, just Jack and Jill, all that. So Happy Madison, and then as soon as it says Happy Madison, it's a Netflix production. So, okay, maybe they even out. And then directly after it says, this is a Netflix movie. Directly after it says Netflix production. Guess what it says right after that? It's a Happy Madison production. So, no dialogue started, no story, no nothing. None of the characters have been introduced, and I'm already 120% positive that we're fucked, right? Like, we felt the need to reiterate this shit a couple of times, so all of a sudden, we're done, right? So, as soon as we start off, Adam Sandler is like this extremely stereotypical Native American garb, like right at the beginning, and it's like at first I'm like, I wonder if this is offensive, and he walks in and this guy puts a gun out and he's like, no engines in here, blah 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 blah. That's offensive, but if you put it in that time period, sure, whatever, it can do that, what have you. And then he's like, no, I just wear this so that when I'm ratting around on the prairies, nobody scalps me. And at that point, I was like, yeah, this is racist. This is pretty bad. The dialogue is so fucking, like, it doesn't, I can't, it's so horrible. I can't even express myself. Okay, so Adam Sandler, out of nowhere, he's like this white guy, and his mom was killed. His mom was killed, and his dad was like this guy going around screwing a bunch of women. So he has 6 illegitimate children, and that's what the Ridiculous Six are, is they're like these brothers that just so happen to be like, hey, this is my dad, I'm looking for him. And like, oh, that's my dad too, let me join you. I don't give a shit what you're doing or what I'm doing or what that has to do with anything else, but I'm following you. So that's legitimately the plotline of the movie, by the way. It's just Adam Sandler walking around randomly following these vague-ass clues and then just finding 6 random people that just happen to be his fucking brothers. But anyway, so one of them can't even talk. One can barely talk. And Rob Schneider plays racially insensitive Mexican person. One of my big notes I put on it was just like who would look at Ridiculous Six and think that any of this was funny? There's these parts where they set up for these jokes and you're just like, yeah, you know what, that this could be funny. And then as soon as the joke happens, they speak right in there. Like, so, and all the characters have like these little isms they do, and they all kind of say around the same shit over and over and over and over. The jokes are recycled over and over and over and over in 2 hours, by the way, over and over and over. Same joke, at least 4 times every single time. So when something even remotely happens, you get this weird feeling, right? You don't get throughout most of the movie. You get this weird feeling like maybe you're gonna laugh, and then they say something, and then it feels like I'm in trouble. Like, oh, I almost thought that was funny. This is fuck. Like, it literally just smacks you in the goddamn face, and it's just like, fuck you. How dare you for going into watching this comedy and thinking that this motherfucker is gonna be funny. Hell no. This is just gonna fucking end your goddamn day, is what I'm telling you. God damn it. So that happens a lot. Like, a lot. And every single time there's an accidental decapitation with a shovel. I don't know. There's a donkey that has projectile shit, and they use it to knock people over, and they use these pseudo-elaborate schemes. And then, out of nowhere, Adam Sandler has all these superpowers, and instead of like pointing any reason out why all it happens every time he does it, every single fucking time that one of the characters, instead of just trying to be able to explain it, they go, oh my god, that was some mythic shit. Also, the fucking movie sports this like crazy cast. Like everybody and their goddamn mother is in this. Everyone who's been in a shitty comedy in the past 10 years is in this movie, right? Like some people have really good movie records that are in this as well, like Nick Nolte, Harvey Keitel, Vanilla Ice is in it. I don't know why, but he's there probably because he was in was it called Stepfather, Dad, whatever, with the other Adam Sandler atrocity. Well, I mean, granted, whatever the fuck that movie was, I mean, it was with Andy Samberg. It wasn't his worst movie he's done in the past fucking 10 years or whatever. But Jesus Christ. But yeah, Vanilla Ice is in it. There's the cast is crazy. John Lovett, Steve Buscemi, you know, his Adam Sandler's regular people, and then even more. I can't even like legitimately. I challenge you, never watch this movie. I'm not telling you to watch this movie at all. Like, it got a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it got a 0% for a fucking reason. I'm not telling you to look at this movie. I am challenging you to go to IMDb and look at the fucking cast of this movie. Look at the fucking cast of this movie and be like, think about how in the world that these people that you see on this fucking cast list, how in the world did they just look at this and be like, you know what's funny? It is probably one of the worst films made in the last 40 to 50 years, maybe since the beginning of film. It is a terrible film. Every joke, like, usually my excuse for Adam Sandler is like, oh, you know, like, man, maybe Adam Sandler's just not feeling it, right? He's just not into it. In this movie, he actually looks like he's fucking, because, like, for example, like in Jack and Jill, he just doesn't look like he cares. He just says a joke and he keeps going. In The Cobbler, it's the same thing. He just kind of a side thing story, and he's just like, all right, later, and it's done. And so you're like, okay, this bitch is phoning it in. In this movie, he actually seems like he fucking tries, but the script is terrible. The direction is terrible. Everything about this goddamn movie is terrible. I mean, there's some interesting looking shots. It looks like a modern day spaghetti western, but not like in a gritty fashion, like Hateful Eight or anything like that. Like, not artsy, but just like, oh look, we did it like this. Woohoo! I don't even know. And you know, on a fucking the lowest note, the person that directed it, oh my god, me and Nick Fleury, we have favorite Adam Sandler movies. Why? Because at one point in time, Adam Sandler wasn't a shitty fucking person. He wasn't the worst fucking thing that ever happened to film. At one point, he had movies that were actually entertaining, right? And the person that directed this movie, he directed The Wedding Singer. He directed Waterboy. Like, those are two of Adam Sandler's best movies back from when he was good. And he somehow fucked it up. And he had all these all-star cast. Some I didn't mention before. Fucking Luke Wilson. You know, Owen Wilson's brother. Yeah, you know, I don't know. Danny Trejo. Bunch of people. There's a bunch of people. It's like an all-star cast of misfits, kind of. And that's kind of what the fucking plot line of the story, the Ridiculous Six. Somebody was like, oh, look, the 5 ridiculous brothers, I'm going to kill you. And he's like, nah, you forgot number 6P. And based off of that insult, they come up with their own, that's their name. And that's supposed to be funny to me. That's supposed to be fucking hilarious. But you know what I didn't find fucking hilarious? Anything in this goddamn movie. So anyway, besides from the plot that makes little to no goddamn sense, the dialogue, it couldn't have been improv, right? It had to be written down. You can't just make up shit that's that bad. Like, I know that's kind of a bold statement, but if you don't believe me, go ahead and watch the goddamn movie. But I tell you what, on my highest fucking recommendation, do not ever view this movie. This is a royal piece of trash. And even worse, Netflix and Adam Sandler have some sort of deal, and he's supposed to make more of these. More. Why? Please. If you have a heart, write a letter. Write an email to Netflix and be like, why? Why would you do this to us? Anyways. This has been the first episode or section of Asches-To-Ashes. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please leave us some feedback. Please give me some suggestions. I can't just happen upon these piles of shit myself, but I can try, right? So please like, comment, subscribe, share anything on social media or whatever. Make sure you tune in this Saturday for our feature and check in on our contest we are having with that feature. And please keep watching.